Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. What up, though, man? Welcome back to another episode of The Sports Guru. I'm your host, Brandon Fresh Dandridge. So let's jump into it. Pull up my notes right here. So, first off, just to start off the show, make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, just to let the people know, what we doing, especially if you enjoy the show. I know we just getting started, and I'm taking y'all into the atmosphere of who I am as a sports analyst, I guess you would call it. I like to call myself a guru. It's something like a fan, but just a little bit higher than a fan. You know what I mean? So let's get into it. So first off, gotta give some notoriety or some buzz or just some attention to what ShaCarri Richardson is doing in the track and field atmosphere. Now, she been getting a lot of buzz or a lot of pub, I would say, lately. And it's a lot of people who just trying to come up and say, like, for those of us, and I'm speaking for myself because I was a part of the us, for those of us who were critical of ShaCarri, they kind of saying like, nah, there you go, bye, in your face. What you got to say now? And it's like, my whole response to that, and I think a lot of the rest of the people around the world, our whole response to that is more so like you acting like we was just outright criticizing this girl for no reason. Like, nobody was criticizing this girl but for the aspect of she was running her mouth and she didn't back it up. Point blank, period. Like, not only that, she had some negative publicity going on with her, whatever the reason why. Like, people just want to keep, she was going through something. We all go through things, man. Nobody gets an excuse. Nobody gets a pass. And ShaCarri definitely don't get a pass neither. And I'm proud of her. She did exactly what I said she should do. She should go to the drawing board, get focused, and come back and be better. And I feel like she did just that. So shout out to ShaCarri for doing that. You know what I mean? Big shouts out to her. And let's not get it twisted. Even though she beat down on our Jamaican women and our Jamaican girls, when Jamaica win, we win too. That's why you seen not ShaCarri, but that's why you seen Sharika Jackson with her hands around ShaCarri and all that, because they already know we ain't no different from them. They us, we them. You know what I mean? So let's get that set. All right, moving on. We're gonna take it to the NBA. And we probably gonna stay on NBA until we get to the end of the segment, and then we'll get into a little bit of football or NFL or what have you. I did go to a local high school game, so maybe I'll talk to y'all a little bit about that also. But moving on, I just think that it should be largely known and largely accepted that Allen Iverson is the most influential athlete of pop culture. Like, period. Like, I mean, when we just sit down and think about it and break it down, like, as I sit here and y'all can see these tattoos on me, and best believe Allen Iverson is the reason, I knew I was getting tattoos at age 10. You know what I mean? Like, I knew I was getting tats. Like, it was a done deal. You know what I mean? He's the reason why we was rocking the braids, why we wanted the braids, wanted to grow our hair out. He's the most cultural influential athlete there has been over the past 20, 30 years, like, without question. And he still, the remnants of what he did and what he laid down is still seen today. He's the reason why we can rock our tattoos and feel comfortable in these different settings, to the point to where everybody got a tattoo these days. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, the acceptance of where they at done went from A to Z, and he's a cultural influence in that. Even to a degree where of us changing our clothes and starting to get grown a little bit. He influenced that because David Stern made the NBA clean up their act and start dressing a little better. And that was still his influence. Allen Iverson, without question, is the most culturally influenced athlete of all time. I made a status and made a post and I was saying this. Somebody came over there and tried to say, I don't know, you got to think about Mike Vick. Like, let's be real. Mike Vick was influenced by Allen Iverson. Mike Vick is from the same area, from that same area that Allen Iverson came from. Why do you think Mike Vick put the braids in his hair? Come on now. Don't get it twisted, man. So shout out to Allen Iverson. And talking about Allen Iverson, I think it's an easy transition. I had this a little bit later down the list, but I think it's an easy transition that we go and we transfer this over to a Steph Curry conversation that's been happening out here. Steph Curry recently had an interview with Gilbert Arenas. Y'all, if y'all know me, man, y'all know I can't stand Gilbert Arenas, man. I can't stand Gilbert Arenas. So if y'all listening, let Gilbert know, man. I can't stand Gilbert, man. Anyways, bro. Even though I think Gilbert got a great show, he made good content, but I just don't like, I don't care for Gilbert opinions. Like, I just think Gilbert has just such a false perception when it comes to his opinions. And, you know, a lot of that stemmed from where Gilbert came from. You know, Gilbert was in the NBA and all that. So he got a different perspective, you know. Respect to that. But anyways, the conversation was about Steph Curry being the best point guard of all time. And Steph Curry said, yes, he thinks he's the best point guard of all time. And he kind of like said, like, who is it? Who else is in the conversation? What, Magic? And it's like, okay, let's pause right there. So then Stephen A has the conversation on First Take, and he says, Stephen A says he got a call from Michael Jeffrey Jordan saying that Steph Curry, as much as he's a great player, he's not a point guard. And I agree. Like, Steph Curry, and the reason why I made the transition from Allen Iverson to Steph Curry, because Steph Curry is what Allen Iverson was. They just do it opposite. Allen Iverson took the ball to the hole. Steph Curry shoot. He a shooter. But the way they impact the game is the exact same. They are not point guards. They don't create offense for their team. They impact offense by the attention that they demand from the way that they play. Same exact players, same type players. If you look at their numbers are very, very, very similar. Yeah, so I just think us going into this labeling Steph Curry as a point guard is extremely false. I had some people come up who I used to hoop with, try to say he's a combo guard. No, he's not a combo guard. He's an undersized shooting guard. Undersized shooting guards: Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, Allen Iverson, Seth Curry. Like, these guys are undersized two guards. They're not point guards. They don't get the team involved. Then you got combo guards. You got your combo guards. You got your Lukas. You got your Damians. You got your K's. Another undersized two guard, CJ McCollum. Who else? You got your LaMelos, combo guards. We stand in the combo guard area. You know, those are your combo guards. Period. And then you just got your pure point guards. Those are the Magics. All right, the John Stocktons, the Jason Kidds, the Rondos. The guys that just look to distribute, the Ben Simmonses. Those are pure point guards. They mad at Ben because he won't be a combo guard. He won't be a, whatever it is they want Ben to be. I actually have no problem with the way Ben Simmons play basketball because he's a point guard. If he was something else, then I would probably have a problem with his game. But see, that's the thing. They want Ben to do a whole bunch of other stuff besides just run the offense, and that's just not traditionally what a point guard's supposed to do. Moving on. We got the NBA in-season tournament. I don't know what to think about that. I think it's at first hearing about the in-season tournament, I thought the idea sucked. But now I'm kind of getting a breakdown of the format and how it's gonna happen. And I think I actually like it because I feel like for the young guys in the league, I feel like it actually gives them something to play for. And it kind of give all the teams something to kind of like play for sooner than later. You got the in-season tournament, then you got the All-Star game, then you got playoffs revving up. So I like what it does for keeping the buzz of the NBA and keeping the flow and the young guys in play and in the flow of, just the season. So those are my thoughts about the in-season tournament. I have a better perspective on it after the initial first season of us seeing what the in-season tournament is like and just how it goes down and everything. So it's a trial error. We're going to see how it goes and how it breaks down. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see, just what it creates in the first year. Moving on from that, James Harden. Excuse me. I just really don't like James Harden right now. I haven't liked Harden for a few years. I haven't liked Harden's style of play. I haven't liked Harden's approach to business side of basketball. I'm just not a James Harden fan, man. And I'm just tired of James Harden. For a dude that's so talented, right? He get all these passes, and I feel like he get the passes that a guy like my guy like Russ, I'm a huge Russ fan, right? Russ don't get these passes because Russ don't shoot good from the field. But because Harden shoots good from the field, they let him do whatever when I feel like Russ is a better player than him. Russ plays harder. I'm just a way huger fan than Russ. And Russ took the criticism that I feel like Harden is not taking to a certain degree because Harden is efficient. So you see what efficiency does for you, man. You efficient, and you can do whatever. And I feel like I just feel bad for. I kind of don't feel bad for Joel Embiid because I feel like he threw Ben Simmons under the bus, and because of that, I feel like Joel Embiid reeking with his soul, and James Harden threw Kyrie under the bus and he reeking with his soul too. So that's my thoughts on James Harden and the process and them guys. Kyrie versus Isaiah Thomas, Zeke as the best ball handler ever. Who's the best ball handler ever? I think without question. Respect to Zeke, man. Respect to Zeke because Zeke is a way better player than he get credits for when we talking about best players of all time. When we talking about best point guards of all time. People forget Zeke beat Magic, Bird, and Mike. Like, come on, man. Zeke was an injured ankle away from a three-peat. Come on, man. Man, put some respect on that man Zeke name, bro. Like, shout out to Isaiah Zeke Thomas, Isaiah Lord Thomas, Zeke, Chicago's own, Detroit's own. Man, put some respect on Zeke's name, man. Damn, Zeke don't get enough credit out here when we talk about who's the best of all time when it comes to point guards and players, bro. Zeke, name under the top 50. Come on, man. Top 75 guys Zeke did this shit with. You know, I guess Dennis. But man, whatever, man. Moving on from Zeke, man. But even as much as I love Zeke, Kyrie Irving is the best ball handler of all time. It's without question, man. Shout out to Reed too, man. Shout out to Kai. Man, go crazy on them, Kai. Get them boys hell this year. I'm rooting for Kai. I'm such a Kai fan. I love Kai the person. I love Kai the basketball player. I'm just a huge Kyrie fan. So moving on, you know, we had USA basketball this summer, and on a select team, you featured Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham was offered the spot on the USA team, but he declined. A lot of footage has been popping up from everywhere over the summer to look at Cade and all of what Cade's been doing. The motorcade bandwagon is running. It's up and running. They been in corners on that thing and people hopping on left and right. The Cade bandwagon is lit. Before we go into Cade though, let's talk about another player who Cade was rocking the 33 for the USA. We all know the 33, that was Grant Hill's number. Cade was seen talking chit chat with Grant Hill. Grant Hill is a player who Cade Cunningham is compared to a lot around the Detroit area. We haven't had a player of his caliber since, a player of this caliber since Grant Hill. So Cade is looking to fill those shoes. And so going into Grant Hill, you know, a question that I see often that pops up a lot, the biggest what ifs ever for the NBA. And it's always featured with players like Tracy McGrady, Penny Hardaway, Brandon Roy, and Grant Hill. And they always ask a question like, who is the biggest what if? And I feel like without question, it's Grant Hill. Without question. People forget that Grant Hill was you know, all-star, you know, since forever. Like, was a walking triple-double threat every single day. Had endorsements. Grant Hill was one of the biggest. Grant Hill was a superstar, like, period. He was truly a superstar. And the reason why I say it's Grant Hill without question over those other guys is because Grant had kind of already, it's Grant, and then I gotta give a little bit to Penny. Okay, so Grant and Penny is probably the top two. T-Mac, I feel like we saw a lot of T-Mac. We saw more of Mac. We got to see more prime years of Mac than we got to see of Grant and Penny. People forget that Grant and Penny was warming up to their prime. T-Mac warmed up and we got to see T-Mac in his prime years, sort of, you know? We got to see that. We didn't get to see that from Grant and Penny as much. I'm going to go Grant. Maybe that's the Detroit bias in me. Grant was my first favorite player, but I think it's without question Grant. The size, the defense, the athleticism, the ability to distribute. I feel like Grant was the first, like, LeBron type of player before LeBron, you know, at 6'8", with the length and the size and skill, you know, maybe not as physical, but Grant was the first LeBron type of player. You know what I mean? Back to the motorcade bandwagon. It's up and running. Footage came out from motorcade at Rico Hines. With the rest of the Pistons, he was looking good. The chemistry was there between him, Ivy, and Duran. Osar looked good. You got to be really excited and ecstatic about what Thompson can bring to this Pistons team. I'm looking forward to see his whole year and his progression. Um, Really just to see his progression as getting aggressive as a scorer offensively. I feel like everywhere else he got solid game. Defense is solid. Uh, his complementary game as a teammate on offense is solid. His passion is A1. Um, Only thing he need to work on is his scoring, aggressiveness scoring wise. Um, and I feel like that will get better once he get more comfortable. You can clearly see that once he feels comfortable, he flows and plays within himself very, very well, very well. Um, the biggest question mark for the Pistons this season is gonna be that ball control and limiting the turnovers between Cade and Jaden. Like those boys gotta really get a handle on the ball, man. They gotta value possessions, and of course that's gonna come with some trials and tribulations. But we gotta see how Monty Williams is gonna influence that. But I like what I saw from the gang and Rico Hines. They looked really good. But I can see very much well why the motorcade bandwagon is up and alive. For those of y'all who don't know, my little cousin is Jaden Ivey. So, I'm biased. I'm a big Jaden fan, of course, by default. Huge Cade fan. Cade was my guy before Jaden got here. And Jaden been my guy before Cade got here. And they both still my guys, all right? So shout out to the Pistons, man. We looking up, looking forward to this season. Season starts in a couple months. Looking forward to seeing if they make any splashes before training camp. So we gonna move on, and we gonna move on from the NBA, and we gonna take it to football. We're gonna take it to some football. Recently, articles, or I'm not gonna say how true, I'm just gonna say allegedly, because I didn't go into the research on this one because I didn't think it was that serious to me, or just didn't catch my attention to that degree. But I did feel like it was necessary to talk about it just because, I can remember feeling a certain type of way when I originally first saw the movie, and what I thought about the movie, I kind of thought it was like some bullshit. And I'm talking about The Blind Side, Michael Orr and the Two E's and The Blind Side. I just thought the movie was some bullshit. Like, I just felt like the way they portrayed the Big Mike character as this gentle giant, I just felt like that was a little bit far-fetched, man. It was Disney. Keep it funky. It was Disney. And anyways, it comes out Michael Orr suing these people and all of this stuff, right? Now, it's two sides to the coin. I don't want to go all into it. I'm just gonna say it's just wilding that this man, it's whatever he went through, he's still going through it, and he's still battling it. I don't know if it's some people in his ear or whatever the case may be, but it's just a ironic situation to look back on years later and to put it in perspective. We'll see how it shapes out and works out. But moving on. We always get in these sports debates here and there about this guy, that guy. And we always do it on an era basis. Like, we always comparing different eras, this era to that era, this era to that era. What you think about this era? What you think about that era? Or this guy, what he would do in this era. It's a lot of debate when it comes to that. The old school people feel like the new school ain't shit. The new school feel like the old school ain't shit. So this debate, I'm not gonna lie, it takes us there when we talk about who's the best cornerback of all time, right? For me, it's a no-brainer. Like, no-brainer for me. To me, it's a no-brainer. It's not even a question. It's not up for debate. You know what I mean? It's only a few guys that you can even put up there in a conversation to even talk about. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's a clear-cut winner. It's Deion Sanders, without question. Now, if I had to go into who's number two, it would be, it would, you know what I'm saying? I could go into a few guys, but I feel like the number two guy is a clear cut. You know, it's clear cut as well, right? It's Deion, and then it's the real Revis. Like, I can't lie. So I can understand why this would be a debate, whether it's Deion or the real Revis. But I just gotta go off of overall impact on the game. Deion really shut down the whole field. Like, people didn't pass the ball his way. And he still somehow ended the season with, you know, 5 or 6 picks. You know what I mean? Somehow made it to the touchdown 1 or 2 times a season. Just the overall impact that Deion had on the game, I just feel like Revis can't match at all. Revis a dog. I seen Revis lock this guy up, lock that guy up, lock that guy up. But Deion just put the fear in quarterbacks, receivers. Just put the Deion, just knowing Deion is out there, man. That's just something different. When you see that 2-1, when you see that 2, man, you know what it is, man. Deion is my favorite athlete of all time, period. Well, second favorite athlete behind Kobe Bryant, then Deion. But come on, man. Like, it's just not a question, man. And Deion looked sweeter. Come on, man. Come on, man. You look good, you feel good, you play good, get paid good. Not saying Revis ain't get paid, but come on, man. Deion still getting paid. Coach Prime, talk to him, Prime. Talking about defended receivers, let's switch over to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is apparently being extorted by some young lady. You know, Jamar Chase had a one-night stand with her. And she been on my man's head ever since, man. She talking about she pregnant and all type of stuff, man. She doing the most, man. And it just goes to say, I just saying that to say, like, man, rappers, athletes, regular men like myself, when are we gonna learn? These women, they out for dollar signs. You know, especially if you're a young athlete, you out here, you popping, man. They see you like a checkbook. You know, I don't know if it's better to take that Gilbert Arenas approach where he say, man, if I knew what I knew now, I just would have paid. I don't know. But all I know is, man, don't end up in the headlines, man. Stay out the headlines. Don't let the skeezers get you in the headlines, bro. Come on, man. That's bad business. Bad business. Now, moving on. Let's take it to some college sports real quick. As I trickle down to high school and talk about the weekend of high school sports. You know, high school football is popping off, and I'm popped off around here in the Michigan area, Detroit, Michigan. But let's talk about college sports. Some people are wondering if the college part of college sports is outdated. Like, is it outdated? Like, is it outdated that we making these kids who already can get paid now they get paid. They can get paid in high school and all that, right? They can make their dollars. Isn't it outdated that we are telling these kids that in order to come to our school, they gotta go to school? In order to play and make money for our school, they gotta go to our school. I think that might just be a little bit outdated. Right? Like, if I'm a top recruit, 5-star athlete, I'm going to the first school that tell me I can come here and I ain't got to do nothing but ball. It's going to happen. It's going to happen eventually. It's already happening, really. Behind closed doors, it's been happening for years and years and years. So why not let's just be real about it? Like, that's my thing about a lot of things in society. I'm the type to, let's be real about how it is so we can really come to a system that caters to that realness, that humanity in us, instead of saying this is how it should be or this is how we would like it to be. So we set rules and stuff in place that don't make sense or that don't agree with our naturalness, our nature. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's nature of a college athlete to really only care about the athletics more than college. You know? And we just need to respond to that. We just need to be real about that and address that. So, you know, before we get out of here today, we gotta do a recap of where we at as far as like heading into the NFL season. The Detroit Lions just finished their third preseason game. The boys, they looking good, man. The boys looking good, man. They got depth, man. They got some defensive depth. They got some offensive depth. You know, it's mighty funny that just last week, it seemed like everyone and their mama was panicking over getting some wide receiver help. And now it's coming down to the end of camp. And it's a big time debate about what receivers will make the roster between Chase Cota, Dylan Drummond, and Antoine Green. Everybody know Antoine Green was our 7th round pick. Dylan Drummond and Chase Cota was undrafted free agents. I'm not sure if Chase Cota was a rookie, but I know Dylan Drummond is a rookie from out of Eastern Michigan. They really like Dylan Drummond. He been getting a lot of buzz in the papers and, you know, from the writers and on YouTube and all that stuff, right? I really like Chase Cota as far as like he performed all 3 games. I feel like he made plays in all 3 games. The last game, he had an opportunity to really separate himself, and I feel like he didn't make the plays. Some of them were controversial, but I feel like I still see something in Chase Cota. But I like Antoine Green, and I do like Dylan Drummond. So we got good problems over here. A problem, they thought we wasn't going to have the depth. We wasn't going to have the wide receiver depth. And here we are in a battle down towards the end of camp, seeing which guy is actually going to make the team. And, yeah. So that's where we at with that. I don't necessarily got a dog in the fight. I like all 3 guys, to be honest. Antoine Green showed me something. Dylan Sherman showed me something, and Chase Cota. The rest of the team looks to be like on par with what we expect as far as the cuts. We 2 weeks away from Kansas City. 2 weeks away. I'm excited. I'm not one of those fans who don't think we have a chance. I absolutely think we have a chance. I absolutely think this team is about to shock the world this year, and I'm on board for it. And I'm looking forward to everybody else jumping on the bandwagon. I won't trip when you jump on this bandwagon. Come get on. Come get on it. Come get on the bandwagon. Hey. But, man, that's what it is, man. That was the show for y'all today, man. I gave y'all my sports thoughts, my sports review for the week. If it's any type of trending topics that catch my attention or whatever, I will put it down for my notes to make sure I come back and talk to y'all about it. If it's anybody that's interested and I don't know, maybe coming on to the show, you know, we can figure out a way to advance the platform. As you can see, this is what I'm doing. This is my first visually recorded episode, hoping to put this on YouTube and across the other platforms. But if you're interested and you got something you want to hear me talk about or anything you want my views and opinions on or just anything, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share the show. Let's keep growing the platform, reaching more people. This was fun. This was another good show. We get into our groove here. Um, yeah. So it's been real. It's your man's. I'm your host, Brandon Fresh Dandridge. This has been D Sports Guru. Till next time, I'm out. What?